What's going on, guys? Welcome to HN Gaming. In today's video, I have some gameplay I just recently got in some free-for-all using the HVK-30, and the HVK is actually what I want to talk about today. Now, I think this is the most underrated gun in Black Ops 3 at the moment. I don't think it gets enough shine. I don't think it's used enough by pubs players or competitive players, whatever that may be. So talking about the assault rifles real quick, I can call a gun underrated all day long, but that doesn't mean it's going to beat the best. Just because it's underrated, I'm not saying it competes with the M8 or like a Man of War for that aspect, but I think it doesn't get respected as a weapon as it should. Now, other guns I was considering for maybe the most underrated, guns like the Pharaoh, the Razorback were a couple I could go to. Even the Kuda, I think, gets outshined by the VMP a lot, when I think it has a lot of good uses that the VMP can't. But I settled on the HVK as being the most underrated gun in the game. Now, I've been using the HVK pretty consistently for the last 2 or 3 months, and it's very good. It's the best hybrid assault rifle in the game. Now, the one thing that it gets knocked on a lot for is that it doesn't have that great long range like an assault rifle does, but it surely makes up for it in those close ranges. This is, out of all the assault rifles, gives you the best chance to win a gunfight against a submachine gun, and you can play like a submachine with an assault rifle and still be able to have those long range type gunfights. Now, it's not great at those really long range gunfights that you want, like a Man of War or a Shiva or even like an ICR to pick people off of head glitches, but it really doesn't have that many weaknesses from what I've seen. It can win a lot of gunfights that a lot of other assault rifles can't. It's the perfect hybrid. And the Man of War, the last like 2 or 3 months, is when it started to get its shine. And I kind of like that in Black Ops 3, that say what you want about the futuristic, say what you want about the specialists. I really like that they implemented that there's so many guns that people can use that can compete with the other ones. If you look at games like Advanced Warfare, I think the BAL was the only usable gun. I don't even think the ASM one was good. Ghost, it was basically the MTAR and the Remington, and then basically just the Vector. And there's no like other guns that are really like great if you want to be at the top level. This game, I feel like there's a lot of wiggle room. You can use a lot of different guns. For example, like the HVK, like at the beginning of the game, people weren't looking at this at all. Now it's starting to become one of the more popular and up-and-coming guns in the game. I personally have been using it a lot in game modes like CTF or Uplink, when it's really, really fast-paced, and you have to pick and choose the maps. Like, it's not like a great fringe assault rifle gun. It's not one you're ever going to pick on those long ranges, especially when the M8 or something like an XR2 are in play. But I remember the XR2 being the second like best assault rifle, and people were calling that underrated at the beginning of the game, and now I think that is absolute horseshit, and I think the XR2 sucks. But the HVK, I don't see it get used enough in pubs. When I see people playing those faster type roles with an assault rifle and they're trying to play like that hybrid player, maybe they're a submachine gun player who wants to have those range kills, or they're an assault rifle player who wants to play faster, and I see them using a gun like a KN or an ICR, I lose my mind. Like, the HVK does not get used enough in pubs. It's just starting to get used in competitive more. In the regions like Australia and Europe in the competitive COD scene, it's been being used a little more consistently now for like a good part of the last couple months. I feel like in the North American regions, which I watch, it's just starting to find its way onto the scene, and that's something I really like, because that's when I enjoy watching and playing Call of Duty the most, when I can use other classes and other guns. I don't want to just use the same M8, although I do the best with the M8. I don't want to use just a VMP all day. It gets really, really boring to me. I don't know how people go on and for the weekend and play Nuketown 24/7 and use the same gun or same class. Like, you guys gotta branch out of your comfort zones if you like use the same gun or same class a lot. It's really, really fun to branch out. And although you may not do quite as good as you would have if you had something like your most comfortable gun in hand, I find that a lot of the times mixing it up with new guns, you'll find new favorite weapons that way that you never would have thought of, and you'll do even better because you're playing accustomed to how it's supposed to be. Like, when I bring out the HVK, I have some of my better games because of how fast I play. And I just play super objective based. I pretty much play objective based all the time. But with the HVK especially, I have the confidence to go up against those submachine gun players, or those where I could just snap on people in an instance with this gun. And I think you can get away with running just a couple attachments on this gun. Quick draw, ELO stock should do it for like the basics ones that you should always be running. But then you can throw on something like a long barrel or grip, but that is not necessary. I run grip just because I do notice a difference, and I would like some help on those longer type ranges, which are its weakness. Gunfights like that, for example. But this gun is just overall very solid. Again, I'm not saying it beats the M8. I'm not even saying it beats the Man of War. I'm just saying this gun needs to be used more, especially by pubs players. I really rarely see this gun, and I don't think it gets used at all enough, hence why I'm calling it underrated. So guys, let me know in the comments down below what you think the most underrated gun is. Thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you all later.